Like, I've been going back to New York. That train sucks.
Oh my gosh.
Not everything needs to be an experience. If I wanted to go to the lounge, I would have went to the lounge. I don't want you booty bouncing and blowing hookah smoking after this while I'm trying to eat my eggs and grits.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a video talking about the comparison between New York and Atlanta. If you are from New York and you're thinking about moving to Atlanta, or you are from Atlanta and you're thinking about moving to New York, I have a video for you guys to explain both sides. I am from New York. I've lived there most of my life, and I moved to Georgia when I was 10 years old and lived here for 2 to 3 years, and then I went back to New York. So I also have friends who have born and raised in Atlanta and moved to New York, and I got their feedback as well. So we're going to kind of go through 4 different categories comparing New York and Atlanta, and the categories are food, fashion, nightlife, and hospitality. Okay, so let's get right into it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you are enjoying this video or this is something that you were really entertained by. Okay, so let's go through it. So let's start off with food. Okay, so here's the food situation when it comes to Atlanta. Atlanta has some amazing comfort food, y'all. Like, nobody does comfort food like the South. That is for sure. So if you're from New York and you know we got our diverse types of food, New York can't really do Southern comfort like the South does. No matter what you try to do, soul food, you know, what is it? Who's the Mama's something in Harlem? Like, they try to do it. There's nothing that compares to Southern comfort food and Southern soul food. You just can't match it. Atlanta makes some great Southern soul food. If you're from Atlanta and you're moving to New York may not do Southern soul food very well, but New York has, you can taste all flavors of the world in New York. We got Little Italy. We got the Ox at the Deli. We got Chinese food. Nobody does Chinese food like New York. We got Greek, Mediterranean food. All types of food in New York. African food everywhere. You can eat the whole world's food in New York City, and that's what makes New York so special. So, you know, my New Yorkers, if you're coming to Atlanta, you're not gonna find as many options and as easily as you would in New York. You guys know when we're in New York, we can go to a deli and order a bacon, egg, and cheese, a salad, a chopped cheese, a wrap, a roll, like all types of things at the deli. You can eat to your heart's desire. When my boyfriend went to New York, he loved the deli. What did he call it? What was it? He thought bodega was like a fancy word. And it was really funny because the bodega is like where we go. It's our place to go for food and to get everything we want any time of the day. So he was like, "Ooh, the bodega, it sounds so fancy." Because, like, you know, bodega sounds like bottega. So it was really cute and really funny. But yeah, you know, in New York, like, you can go to the bodega, the deli, at any time of the day, any time of the night, and you'll be able to get food. In Atlanta, you have to go to a restaurant. Like, you have to sit down, or you're picking up fast food at McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, wherever. It's not as easily accessible. So New York does food well in its own way, and Atlanta does food well in its own way, but you kind of have 2 different types of options. New York doesn't do Southern comfort food like the South, and the South don't do diverse options like the North.
Weekends going, like, Sunday brunch is hell in Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
You try to go to
oh my gosh. Like, 2-hour long lines, and it's just
don't nobody take reservations.
That don't make no sense to me. That doesn't make any sense why you don't take reservations. And then there's only but like 5 brunch spots. And
why all the brunch spots gotta have hookah and drinks and everybody, like, can we just go eat?
Right.
Not everything needs to be an experience. If I wanted to go to the lounge, I would have went to the lounge.
Yep.
I just want a meal. I don't want
the whole 9 yards.
To me, booty bouncing and blowing hookah smoking after this while I'm trying to eat my eggs and grits.
I feel you. Yes. And I feel like New York has more holes in the wall, like, as far as food. So, like, you can know the popular spots in New York that people go to, but you could also discover something, like, at any moment. You could find a really good spot that's low key that nobody knows about.
Yeah, I feel like you can find spots out here too, but also, like, I don't know, I feel like whenever I find a spot out here, somebody posts about it on TikTok, and now it's a wait list.
Right. Fashion. So that's an easy no-brainer. The clothes in the South are whack. The options, the stores, like they don't have enough options in the stores. And then the way people dress out here, it's like people don't have actual style. They just put designers together. In New York, people have style. They don't have to be wearing a lick of designer, but they know how to dress and put pieces together that make a statement and make you say, oh, okay. But New York is a fashion capital, so that's a given. So that I don't really have to expand on that. Atlanta don't know how to dress like New York does, okay? Nightlife. In New York City, you guys know New York is the city that never sleeps. So if you're somebody that is used to going out at night, I know me, I love taking strolls at night in New York. Like New York might seem dangerous to everybody else, but if you're a New Yorker, you just know how to navigate New York at night. So there's so much to do in New York at night, and it's not just lounges and clubs. Like you can just be out, like going out for a walking through New York City is an activity in New York. Like there's musicians playing on the street, there's people shopping late at night in Times Square, there's Times Square, there is you know, live jazz performances. There's just so much going on in New York, and I feel like Atlanta has that too, where there's things that happen, you know, in the nightlife that isn't just lounges, but you really have to, I feel like, know people to know about those events. If you do not know people, or you don't know the company or organization that doesn't, you won't know what's going on at night, you know?
I don't be feeling the vibes when I go out. Like, I go out every once in a while, and every time I go out, I'll be like, okay, I'm going out. It's like I'm rolling the dice. Like, we gonna see how this goes.
For Atlanta or New York?
For Atlanta.
Okay.
Whereas, like, in New York, I feel like I know that when I go out, I'm about to have a blast.
Yeah, and even I think another thing is, like, in New York, because it's the city that never sleeps, like you could just find something to do all hours of the night, like at all times, even if it's not club to club to club, you could just be walking through New York City and it's a vibe.
Exactly, and I feel like out here, you just like, you leave one club, you looking for the next club, trying to figure out where everybody going and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, it's hard to like make your own fun.
Yeah, and then, you know, you gotta move different out here because you can't just pop up anywhere. People be crazy.
Transportation, right? Let's talk about transportation. Some people hate New York City's transit system. If you're not from New York, and some people who are from New York hate New York City's transit system.
I've been going back to New York. That train sucks.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going back to the train sucks. It don't matter how many noise canceling headphones you got. Sitting there and waiting for your train. The train is delayed. It's hot outside. It's cold outside, and the only thing that you can possibly do is wait. I'll say that about New York. I feel like New York is a lot of, you be rushing somewhere and then you gotta wait. Hurry up and wait.
Yeah. I personally love the train. Why do I love the train? Because something about driving and having to be alert while you drive the whole time. Like, I like to just be on my phone, listening to music, thinking about my thoughts, just in peace. And the train is just so active. You see people coming on with these cool outfits. There's maybe drama down in the other end of the car, or there's, you know, train dancers, or there's a drummer, or there's a beautiful subway station that like is just so dope, or you're in a train station that has food, or there's just always something happening in the train. Like, the underground world in New York City is a whole other world, and I love that. Some people hate the train. It's hot, it's dirty, it's too loud. Like, for other people it's too much, but I love the train. You get a whole experience for only $250, $275, and to me it's so worth it. It gets me to and from. Yes, the train is delayed. Yes, you know, things happen. It's just train culture. That is just train culture. You better hope it don't happen on the day you absolutely need to be somewhere, but it's train culture. It happens, you know. When it comes to Atlanta, you cannot walk, and I don't recommend taking the train, okay? Because if you try to walk, you won't get very far, and if you take the train, it only leaves you at certain points in the city. So basically, here's how the train works. For my New Yorkers, this is how the train works in Atlanta. There is one stop in Times Square. There's another stop on 86th Street, 125th Street. And I don't know, let's say East 180th. This is for my New Yorkers. This is how the train system is in Atlanta. It's only like, okay, that's north. Then if we go east and west, right, there's only one stop, let's say on Central Park East. I don't even know if that's a stop in New York, but like Central Park East, 110th Street, East Side, that's one stop. And I don't know, the F train, one stop. Because we know that the F train goes like, you know, down the avenues. We know that like the 4 and the 5 are on the east side. Like we know, but it's only like 2-3 stops per direction. And then south, you got like what is this? Court Street, maybe like, I don't know, Penn Station, and I don't know, like one stop in Brooklyn. That is what the train system in Atlanta is like. You don't get very many stops. So if you try to ride the train in Atlanta, you have to be like knowing what part of the city you want to be in, and you have to navigate throughout that city in that way. And then I have no idea how the bus system works. Okay, don't even get me started. You must have a car out here, and that is a very big difference. Like for my girls who are independent and don't have the finances to spend on a car, the train is so helpful in New York. And the fact that you can walk anywhere, y'all, I kid you not, I walked from 59th Street when I worked in Manhattan. I walked from 59th Street all the way to Canal Street. For my New Yorkers, y'all know what that looks like. If you're not from New York, 59th Street is exactly what it sounds like. It's the 59th Street in Manhattan, right? I walked 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, all the way down to the 0th street, the 0th street, and then below that. And I used to just walk that. Like after work, I would just go for a walk. And so it's just so much easier to be on foot in New York, and in Atlanta, you do have to drive. One thing I love about Atlanta is that everybody has an entrepreneurial spirit, and New York doesn't have that. Like everything is basically corporate owned in New York. I feel like Atlanta is home of like the dreamer and the person that can like bring anything they imagine to life and make it happen.
And it's there's an openness. I can talk to somebody and I can say, hey, I model or whatever, and they're like, yo, I know this person that works for this person. You know, like everybody is open, like everybody can eat. And I feel like New York don't have that everybody can eat.
Oh no, yes, that's so true. Actually, that is so true. That is so true.
You're better off finding an opportunity out here. Like you're gonna know somebody that knows somebody and people will actually, if they tell you like, yo, I got you, I'm gonna figure it out. Like I'll let me ask around. They'll really ask around.
Yeah.
In New York, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll ask around,
and you never hear from them again. Everybody is ambitious out here. Everybody has this mindset that they can do anything. Like I can do anything. I can be a designer. I can be a restaurant owner. I can be a model. Everybody is so ambitious, and everyone is hardworking. Now, New York, people are talented, but one thing you'll hear in the clip that I add of my friend Nisa talking, she says that in New York, people are more like they withhold information. They don't just freely give it out. In Atlanta, people are willing to give you information and put you on. Now, some people might feel otherwise, but I do agree. Being from New York, it's a dog-eat-dog city. Like everybody is climbing their way to the top. Everybody is like hustling and trying to be noticed, recognized, and put on. That when they find out information, they're not trying to put on the next person, because it's a competition. Like you have to be the best in New York City to be seen, to be recognized, to be put on. In Atlanta, because there's so many small businesses and entrepreneurs and people who claim to be, you know, they say that everybody in Atlanta is, you know, wants to be or is like smoke and mirrors. I don't really know what the phrase is, but like is portraying to be this person. Because everybody's so accessible in Atlanta and every business is kind of like small, so to speak, people are easily able to put other people on because it benefits them too. Like, let's be real. Housing, of course, if you're moving, you need to know what the housing's like. So they're saying that now that everybody's transplants from other cities to Atlanta, it's not as affordable as it was. But let me tell y'all something. If you are from New York, you know that you are paying $2,000, $3,000 for your 2-bedroom or your 1-bedroom, right? And you just get that tight bedroom, tight living room, tight kitchen, no updated, you know, appliances. And even if it is updated or renovated, it's so small. There's not enough cabinet space. There's not enough window lighting. Like, you don't get enough. And even if the price is the same in Atlanta or in Georgia, you get so much more. In both of my apartments in Atlanta, I had a balcony. In both of my apartments in Atlanta, I had a pool. In both of them, I had a leasing office, people that fix my plumbing on time, fix my dish, what is it called? My garbage disposal on time, like the next day. I don't have to wait to hear back from management and then they send over somebody a week later. Like, it's not like that. I get like my mail delivered to a main office. I get a tennis court. You know, there's a clubhouse, like a community center. There's just so much more you get for the price here than you get in New York. If I'm paying $2,500 in New York for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, kitchen renovated, that's all I'm getting. In Atlanta, I might have a 2-bedroom, you know, I don't know, 1.5 bathroom, kitchen, laundry room, dishwasher, balcony, pool. I get so much more for the money. So even if the price is the same, you get so much more regardless. Like, it's a given. And I'm gonna just leave it there. I don't want to go too much into it. If there's any other questions you guys have, like if you're moving from New York to Atlanta or Atlanta to New York and you want to know some other things, just comment down below and maybe I'll make a part 2. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.